Well, that's it, guys. I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish, and this is going to be the best part of the evening here for me at AVN 2018. The reason why I'm so happy to interview this person, she was on the first episode of Adventures with the Trendsetter. I couldn't speak to a better person the final day here for me, and that's Miss Jessa Rhodes. Jessa, how are you?
I'm fantastic, baby. How are you?
Good. It's great to see you again. How's everything been? How's your holiday? How's Christmas?
It's been great. I have no complaints whatsoever. It's good to see you here in Vegas. I met Brian at Exotica, New Jersey, and we had a great time. Woo! So yeah. So how you liking Vegas and the convention so far? I'm gonna interview you. Actually, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay, no, go ahead. Yeah, no, it's the first time for me here. Like I said, I've never been to Vegas before. We made a reason to come to AVN, and obviously you were one of the reasons because I wanted to see you down here at AVN, kind of catch up to where we left off because it was so great interview the last time we did. So a lot of things have changed in 2018, and something I wanted to ask you is that 2017 is over, 18 everybody makes New Year's resolutions and stuff, and don't really keep it. It lasts for maybe 2 weeks or not. What kind of, besides work and your projects that are coming up, what kind of personal goals do you hope to accomplish in 2018?
I never make a New Year's resolution because I feel like that's setting yourself up for failure. Instead of talking about it, just do it. And as you're doing it, you'll find that it's easier to do it when you haven't made ridiculous, goals and things like that you're out of sight or you're out of touch and things like that. So I have smoked for 10 years. And over the last 3 months, I finally got on a vape, and I'm not smoking anymore. So that was kind of something that I just, instead of making that like, I'm going to do that, I just did it. And I think that was the easiest part for me. So that was a great thing going into 2018 that I'm looking forward to being able to breathe better and exercise more and things like that. So, healthier choices. That's my life goal right now.
So going for healthier style in 2018, it's really good. We went by the T-Mobile Arena, and immediately I'm thinking UFC and stuff like that. So let's talk about that. It looks like Ronda Rousey's going to be signing a deal with WWE. Will that entice you now to watch pro wrestling a little bit if she comes on WWE programming?
Absolutely. I'm a big Ronda fan, so fuck yeah, sign me up.
I asked you this before at Exotica, and it would be the same thing to ask you here too. I always like getting the talent's perspective on. You kind of touched base on this at Exotica, but too, it's like, what's it like right now at AVN? It's obviously a different atmosphere a little bit than Exotica. It's a lot more packed here in Las Vegas. What's it like in your personal sense? Does it get overwhelming at times to be here?
It's funny because I've done this now 5 years in a row, and it does get overwhelming. But I think the best way to handle it is just try to stay as sober as you can because, you want to be mentally there. You want to be prepared to meet the fans and say hi. And, they're all spending a lot of money and they all flew in to see you. And it's good to give them that respect to be like, hey, I'm happy to see you. And, instead of being hungover and like, oh, I don't want to be here. So honestly, this being sober this year my attitude 100% changed around. I am so happy to be here, and just the atmosphere of signing for myself in my own booth too creates a lot more fun for me and less pressure. So it's been really, really cool. I think just in general, you got to learn how to just slow it down because there's so much going on at all times, and you're like, and I've just learned to be like, hey, focus right here, right now. The person behind will understand that you're not being rude. You're just like, hey, I'm right here. Be attentive to people. So I think that's probably the best thing that I've learned instead of being all over the place. It really stresses you out.
No, it does. It's very stressful, and especially in New Year, you want to be very stress-free. When we spoke before about social media and branding yourself, how important it was too, and there are obviously negatives about that, and I'd be remiss not to mention that unfortunately in the last couple of months and 4 months we've lost a lot of important people in the adult film industry. So how important is it for you, I never got a chance to ask this to you at Exotica, how important is it for you to surround yourself with such positive people to make sure that all that negativity and all that noise, like I said before, you'll tell somebody to their face with a smile, go F off, but at the same time, it does get you. We're all human sometimes, and you need to surround yourself with positive people. So how do you do that to avoid those issues internally?
It's hard for me because even last night, I kind of got a little anxiety, and I just have learned to step out of situations that make me uncomfortable. And your real friends will understand. Hey, it's a lot to do, and we're all happy to be here and happy to do it. But you just have to know when you're either your boundaries crossed or you're just burnt out, and you're like, hey, I don't have the energy for this right now, and then that's the best way to kind of deal with those situations because a lot of people just push themselves too far, and it unfortunately has some people have paid the ultimate price for that now, and it's hard because this is a hard industry to navigate, and you have to really be with it and strong-minded and not with social media, girls get attacked all the time, and we all know what's going on right now, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But you just have to really remind yourself and ground yourself, like you said, with good people, and just remember, like, I keep a very small circle. I have Cali Carter and my agent and my boyfriend Xander, and that's really the only company I keep, and I think that's the important part, is knowing your 4 quarters. I always say that. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Yeah, of course.
And that's that. You know, if you spread yourself too thin with a lot of different people, I think that's what kind of tears people down in this industry. And I'm not saying don't make new friends, but just know who your rocks are and keep those close.
Jessa, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Like I said, I could talk to you forever, but I know you got places to go, things to do, and I appreciate you giving me a few minutes of your time. So, guys, thank you so much. Jessa Rhodes here at AVN 2018. Too sweet. Thank you so much.
Thanks, baby. Mwah.